And y'all, we are all here today because we are about the same goal. We have the same thing in mind. We all want to make this state the very best that it can be. And like you do in your professional lives, I must understand the real problems that face our great state and confront them with real solutions. The best leaders among us are those that identify challenges, talk frankly about them, and then work diligently to address those challenges with appropriate action. That's the approach I'm taking as I try to lead this great state. Leadership is not just pointing out what is wrong and something's not working. Leaders can't just complain. We must offer solutions. Now, folks, you know, there's no doubt, but we have a lot of challenges in our great state. But when our men and women are employed with good paying jobs, quality of work, that goes a long way to solving a whole lot of problems. So attracting new investments in Alabama and encouraging those existing firms to expand is central to my administration. We do this by recruiting new 21st century jobs, and that's a team effort involving not only me, but also my entire cabinet and my staff. And that requires the building of relationships, fostering relationships with the corporate executives nationwide and globally. I recently went to the Paris Air Show, and I was there on a mission. My mission was to foster some new relationships with global CEOs that were not doing business in Alabama, and also to solidify relationships with the corporate CEOs of those firms, those aerospace firms, global and otherwise, that are doing business in Alabama. In 2 days, I had 21 meetings with these CEOs. 3 of them were brand new. And so we spent that time getting acquainted and starting the process of building a strong relationship. The other 18 are corporate CEOs around the globe that already do business in Alabama and aerospace firms. And I listened to each one of them explain what they did and why they chose Alabama and tell me their story. And at the end of the day, after listening to these 18 existing firms, I realized that there was a consistent message, though unprompted in any fashion, that was common to all of their message. And that message, in essence, was, our firm in Alabama is successful because of the quality and productivity of our employees. Now, y'all, that speaks volumes when global CEOs talk about the quality of the workforce in Alabama. It's one thing when those of us who are engaged in it believe that we've got a quality workforce, but it's really special to hear that compliment from global CEOs. But we cannot rest on our laurels. We must capitalize on that sentiment. Because the truth be known, we have a report from the Department of Labor that lists the most in-demand jobs that are coming up in just the next few years. And those jobs are software and app design, nursing, computer systems analyzation, physical therapy, and industrial engineering. Furthermore, I've learned that here in Alabama today, we have 4,700 computing jobs that are available. The salary is at least $82,000 a year, and we can't fill them. Global 21st century jobs, and we can't fill them. So Alabama is on the move already, working with the Alabama Community College System. They've already started the process of gearing up to expand their programs and curriculums so that we can meet these challenges and fill these fine jobs and continue to build our workforce with 21st century jobs in mind. Now, I'm fully committed to this process. Businesses don't come to Alabama overnight. We have to grow them and encourage them. And we've also got to do more about our workforce development. Because see, we've got a great workforce now, but for the jobs that are 21st century jobs, we've got opportunity. Last month, we saw our unemployment rate drop to 4.9%, the lowest it's been in almost a decade. And that's great news. We've also, in the last 3 months, announced some $800 million in new investments in our great state, creating some 2,000 jobs. Now, y'all, that's good news, and we are happy for that. But at the same time, with those good numbers, we still have 100,000 Alabamians without a job. That's thousands of moms and dads, thousands of your neighbors, thousands of your friends without a job who want a job. And my passion is that everybody who wants to have a job can have one, but not just any job. I want our workers to have jobs for which they are qualified and well-trained. I want them to be prepared to have a quality job so that they can raise their families and own a home and educate their children. And we have to admit that as a state we've made some great strides in growing our economy, but y'all, we can do more, and we must do more. Certainly one of the best investments in the economy and economic development is an investment in our educational endeavors. If we don't train our young people with quality skills and quality education, then for sure we'll never have a quality workforce for the 21st century jobs, and folks won't come to Alabama. But right now they're in tune with Alabama. They know we've got hard-working, committed folks. They want to come, so it's our job to find the resources to fulfill that commitment in education. Education, like everything else, costs a bunch. And we cannot simply just throw money at the problem. Like, you have to be prudent and strategic as you distribute your resources with your utility companies. The state needs to be strategic as we allocate educational resources. Certainly we want to put our money with our teachers so that they can have all they need to equip our young people, but we want our young people to come out of school so that they can think, they can calculate, they can compute, they can comprehend. We want our teachers to be less burdened with regulations and paperwork so they can spend more time helping our students truly understand information and how to figure things out. As a former teacher myself, I fully know the importance of a strong educational background, and in Alabama, we all need to be real proud of our pre-K early childhood program. It continues to be ranked #1 in the nation. And if we work with our children at an early age, we can identify any potential issues they may have and address them early. But the most important thing we can do is teach them how to read and to be reading proficiently by the 3rd grade as a minimum. That is a real challenge that we've got to focus on. And just as pre-K is an educational foundation for our workforce and our children, a robust infrastructure is also essential for all that happens in our great state. Our state's infrastructure is aging, and it makes it very difficult to repair roads and bridges that we have, much less build new ones. And we all know that infrastructure costs. Asphalt, just not cheap. And we have roads and bridges, railways, and airports that all need attention. And y'all, in some places in our state, school buses have to go at 12 miles out of their way every trip to avoid going over an unsafe bridge. That just can't continue. We must invest more money in our roads and bridges. And I assure you, ladies and gentlemen, there will be times in your professional career when you're called on to make some decisions that ought to be made, that are the right things to do, but that are not popular. In fact, I was recently presented with this predicament, as my friends in the legislature will remember. Shortly after taking the oath of office, and it was in the latter days of the legislative session, I came out in full support of a gas tax, asking the legislature to generate some more revenue for our infrastructure. We have not raised the gas tax in this state in 25 years. Our sister states around us, our surrounding states, have increased their gas taxes. Now, this move that I made to come out early as a conservative was not the most popular thing, but it was the right thing then, it's the right thing now, and we must improve our infrastructure and our roads and bridges. As leaders, y'all, we must see problems, identify them, be willing to tackle them, even though some criticism may come our way. When we sacrifice doing what is right for popularity, at that moment, we fail to lead. So there are times when leaders must do what is right and best for the people. When the roof is leaking, you fix it. When our roads and bridges need repair, need new roads and bridges, we need to generate the revenue to do so. I envision an Alabama where our young people will be well educated and trained, employment opportunities will abound, and the wheels of commerce will travel and roll over roads and bridges with a strong funding of infrastructure. When my time as governor comes to a close, whenever that may be, my goal is to be able to leave this state in better shape than it was when I began, because I was not fearful to shy away from challenges that face us. Members of ECA, I am honored to be with you, and I truly look forward to working with you as a team in the months and years ahead to continue to move our great state forward. May God continue to bless you and your families, the great state of Alabama, and these United States of America.